We have cheaper camels against faster attacking camels.
So
And
Hindustani
you're
is...
thinking about the Hindustani unique unit against camel archers? Or why would you say Hindustani is a better?
Hindustani is to say better. Purely because, you know, they open with Imperial camels. Secondly, they've got an awesome UU, which is great against archer-based civs. And whilst the Berbers are fast and the camel archers are great, like I just feel like, you know, it's very easy to spam that unit. And yeah, I just feel like Hindustanis have the advantage. The good thing about the Berbers is that they have incredibly cheap, just generally they're very cheap civ to operate. So, you know, you can spam a market out pretty quick, and you can push very nicely with a Berber. I think what I personally would have done here if I was playing as the Berbers is I wouldn't have pushed as early camel archers as it seems that boOmstik is doing.
Yeah, I think that
you know,
feels risky only going 6 stables. Because like the camel quality is higher for the Hindustanis, and you kind of need the mass to offset that. I mean, camel archers are nice behind the lines, right? You have an added DPS unit. That's why I like Berbers a little bit more, because you have a DPS unit behind like the main fighting line easier than with Hindustanis, because their cav archers aren't too great.
Well, I was going with the HCA. Like, I would have thought that boOmstik could have rolled in a few HCA and actually got some snipes in the early game. So that's where I was going with that. I mean, look at that castle at the front by DZ. You know, he could have easily taken out that castle with a nice bit of sniping coming in from the HCA. I agree with you. I think he's about two stables too short on the opener here. But I suppose, you know, Hindustani could have actually opened with with Hab, right, alongside, and whilst the camel archer would have been pretty dangerous, that could have been a really nice opening push.
True, no habit is surprising from the Polish player.
Yeah, no habit is. I mean, I can kind of understand it, right? Because, you know, the Imperial camel.
I hate boOmstik's gather points, though. Sorry to interrupt. Okay, now fights again. No, he's gather pointing again into the army. Boom.
I think this is the only thing about boOmstik's recent style of play is that he has overextended quite a lot, and we're seeing that a little bit here again. But the Imperial Camel, right? Imperial Camel is just so strong. Like, you know, that's what's going to be...
Yeah, especially now that the Hindustani's got the 25% attack speed bonus as well, on top of the Indian Imperial Camel.
I mean, I'll be honest with you, I'm not super psyched about DZ's build order here. Just being honest. I don't know what he's built a hand cannon like guy at the back there. Like, weird. I don't understand hand cannoneers. Like, why would you build that?
In the Hindustani mirrors we saw in Ragnarok and etc. there was a lot of hand cannons, like just as a better DPS unit behind the fighting lines than CA. Keller was also a fan of that against other Hindustanis. Yeah, it's probably better against the camel archers than CA. It's like equally bad, but the main thing that's winning Dziamdziak the game right now is just he has more camels. And amazing camels too. And boOmstik wasted a lot.
Hand cannoneer would make sense in a Hindustani versus Hindustani matchup, right? Because like your UU is not ranged. You don't have anything of great range apart from obviously like some siege onagers. So yeah, I mean Hindustani, do they have BBC actually? Or is it just
they do.
Yeah, they do have BBC as well. Yeah. But you know, you could probably keep them alive quite nicely. But up against Camel Archer, no, I just don't get it. It just doesn't make much sense to me. I think boOm definitely has a chance to stay in this game here. If DZ doesn't make enough of a dent in this middle ground that he's trying to cap.
Yeah, he lured him in nicely now, right? And if he can get that castle up, then they're kind of in equal footing in the middle of the map at least. DZ's expanding to that northern gold, which I really like, and patrolling the northern gold and the relic and the stone. So that's a really nice move.
I mean, taking that castle out would be important for DZ, actually, because that hill is going to obviously provide some bonus. Not a game-changing amount, but definitely some of a bonus. So he lost pretty much all his hand cannoneers there, right? So I just don't see much of a good trade value in that. The danger of the Berber, right, is building up the camel archers. That's the biggest danger you've got.
And we all know boOmstik loves Mongols, and you babysit a cav archer unit, right? It's kind of the same with Mongols than with Berbers. So I can see the transition of one of his favorite civs here.
Honestly,
Two
if I had to
castles
predict
on
right,
those little hills there. Well, that's an interesting cast by boOmstik. Sorry, never mind. Go on.
it's okay. If I had to predict based on the initial opening build order, the economy that's happening at the moment with DZ, DZ's going to slip on the scoreboard any second, and I don't think he's ever going to get it back. I think boOmstik's going to take it from here and win, just based on the unit composition of DZ here.
Yeah, it's like they might kill that castle, but army-wise and eco, well, I mean, there's overall more eco for DZ.
Sure.
And he's raiding with one summary effectively, but the army count is super worrying, and he doesn't seem to have an answer to camel archers.
I think the issue here for DZ is that he's working with too small of an army. Like, you know, he just doesn't have the oomph. I'm gonna use that word. Oomph. He doesn't have it.
I think it's kind of a bit late for predictions, maybe, bots.
I think in terms,
but we also called Ganji against Keller at minute 5, and it went on another 45 minutes. So
I feel like though that if the Hindustani, in this instance played by DZ, had actually capitalized on a better opening composition, then he could have put boOmstik on the rocks, and he could have done a lot more damage. He could have taken that middle hill that we saw the boOmstik got. He could have trebbed down on castles. He could have shored up basically there, and then he could have raided if he'd needed to. And obviously the UU is a great raid civ, a great raid unit. Sorry, good against the Berbers, you know, in mass, but not in small numbers.
Yeah, small numbers. The camel archers, like every archer, in higher numbers than a melee unit kills.
Reg says it's never too late for predictions.
And Valda is betting on red, which I guess is Dziamdziak. No, he's betting on boOmstik. Come on, you did the boring bet. You don't get to big mouth.
See these UU at the back of the base? Look at those UU, right? Look at how they're just tearing it up, even with the TC. It's just great raid unit, and that would have caused Berbers actually a lot more hurt than possibly DZ realized actually coming into this game.
Still, I'd say like the camel archers are gonna make a dent here, right? And they do. But yeah, I agree. Like the unique unit can be used really nicely against CA civs.
I think the only thing that I haven't seen boom actually roll into this would be 157 bills is enough. Yeah, no, he needs a few more.
He's losing them now.
Really get into this game. I think the thing that you could roll in here as a Berber is Hazar as well. Obviously, he's carrying on going with the camel archers for now. But they're just a nice beach shield that you can throw in as well. Good for sniping these like trebs and things. It's just a little bit more wasteful when you're under castles with these camel archers, when you could be using trash for that. So
there's a good thing. 3 really nicely placed raiding stables by Dziamdziak. There's a bad thing. They're sending the units home to defend through 3 castles.
It's so easily done. That is an extremely easy mistake.
I do it all the time.
Yeah, it's very easy because.
But
of the
I really like
hotkeys,
the placement of the raiding stables, and then yeah, they're all stable hotkey, right? Especially when you panic or it's so like, oh Ray, shit, I need cavalry there. All stable hotkey. Click in the fight. Let's go.
Yeah, I mean, one thing that I do sometimes, more probably team game than like 1v1, but just like shove your stables or whatever else it is that you've got in the corner on a hotkey. Usually a higher up the line hotkey, like 5, 6, 7, 8, whatever, like depending on where you want to reach. And then just if you do accidentally select all of them to somewhere, at least you can easily get them straight back to
rating stables left are hotkey 5, rating stables right are hotkey 6. Most of the time.
Really?
Or rating barracks, or depending on what rating building, right?
Are you serious?
Yeah, I put them on 5 and 6.
Yeah. Oh wow, 5 and 6, interesting.
And 4 is like the building at home that I'm rating from then when I divide it. But I forgot a lot to do it, and then I'm doing the same mistake that Dziamdziak just did. But if I remember to do it, and I do rating buildings, I make it on 4, 5, 6.
Well, I use hotkey 9 for markets, hotkey 8 for like say I'm playing like the Sicilians, I like to use hotkey 8 because it's just like a hotkey that's miles away, and obviously I'm not pressing it on the keyboard. I'm pressing it on my mouse, but either way, it's a nice out of the way hotkey. You can't accidentally click it, press it, with your fingers on 1 through 4 or 5 or whatever.
Maida has no more rocks to bet. But also not gonna lose them because I don't think that this middle push is ever gonna be stopped, and boOmstik has corrected Dziamdziak's overboom for him. I mean, Dziamdziak is still raiding. He's even adding elephants and towers in boomstick space. So he's surely doing an effort of making a dent there too. Siege elephant, let's go!
It's actually a tactical thing to play games until the absolute last, like, okay, maybe not absolute last villager, but down to your last 50 or whatever. Because actually the longer that you can keep the game going, the longer you can wear your opponent. And so you do see in tournaments that happen where players just keep playing and playing and playing, even if they long way past the resign. Because it can tire your opponent. Don't resign too quick. You're going to keep them fresher for longer.
I'm not sure if it works. It also has a psychological effect, right? Like, I'm winning the game, okay, I feel good.
Nah,
oh, that was a nice stand on the camel archers, by the way, all of a sudden, with the unique unit and the camels in there. Only 32 camel archers left.
I mean, sure, if he had more units to do it, then yeah, he would have absolutely probably wrecked the army.
No,
but he doesn't at this point. So 1 by 1, you're not going to do anything. So
I think that's also an RMer feeling, like the longer the game, the better I should get. That's why they sometimes stay longer.
My view,
or they know less when a DM game's over. Not sure.
My view is is that if you're a bit nervous and you're in a game, like, you're gonna keep those nerves going for longer, and that's gonna fatigue you quicker. So playing a long game is tactical, even if you're gonna lose.
But then now Dziamdziak is clearly gonna run through, right? Because he did that tactic. Okay, sorry, I purposefully misunderstood. But boOmstik wins game 1 after a rocky start, but the camel archers carried it home. Better KD, actually better economy for Dziamdziak, but that's partly his overboom. And nice raids by Dziamdziak though. I can see him doing a lot with a unit comp he uses more parts of in the future of the set.
My initial analysis, genuinely, is I think that DZ is underestimating boOmstik, and therefore I don't think DZ's actually practiced DM. Looking at that game, I don't think he's practiced DM.
Could be. I take a very quick break. I'll be back in 30 seconds.
What? He's gone. That's it. I've got command of his stream now. Everyone donate to me. And Otter, I hope you're gone. Yeah, he's gone. And yeah, I can put it in the chat. Just kidding. Hindustanis have Imperial Camel and that's it. Incorrect, Maldar. They have their UU as well. It's extremely strong. Yeah, Hindustanis definitely can pack a punch. Hindustani opener. I think if you roped in some Halb in there as well, because Burbs are always going to push a camel start. Against Archer civs, no, I think they're actually pretty strong. I think it largely depends. I think it depends whether or not you can actually get a good sure footing as Hindustani, and you're not going to get you haven't been raided, you haven't lost too much. I think otherwise you can definitely push out UU. Okay, you don't have like siege rams or anything like that, but you could definitely put pressure in the opener with the Imperial Camel and Hab, and then into UU with good raids, trebs, castles around the map. You definitely got options.
Sorry guys, sorry KD. Flatmates just came back. Had to do something really quickly. And we're back. Did they start the next game yet?
I've claimed this stream now. This is my stream.
Okay. Welcome myself to your stream then.
Yep, thank you. I mean,
do I at least get your stream now then, or am I just without stream?
Okay. Here's the key.
Okay, I get the stream with like 5 viewers, and I give you the one for 25. Seems fair.
Yeah, it's great. If you build that one up, and then what we'll do is we'll swap back again, and then.
Damn it! You see, all work, no play for me.
Yeah, but you got a $5 donation. Come on, I'll keep you fueled for a good couple of hours.
Yeah, $5 donation for my whole stream. It seems totally fair. But actually, you gonna get that? No, actually, yeah, right. I'm still linked to my PayPal. Well, depends on what happens to that. Okay, I don't see the game1au2.net yet of them. Let me see if they're in the lobby. Okay, they're in the lobby, and it's gonna be Serengeti. So as a home map for DZ. So
I don't see that as dangerous for boOmstik. So
thanks for the 1-bit Malda. Hindu Studies lost to Berbers, and boOmstik has. You think he's gonna go Mongols?
I don't think he's gonna go Goths, because I think he's gonna save that for Haboob. If that comes into play, I think we're probably gonna see possibly another cavalry base civ. I don't see why you wouldn't actually, because there's less wood on the map, so I think you're gonna want to try and prioritize a food-based civ. You're not going to want to take a Mongol or a Drav because they're, predominantly wood-based. So I personally would see him taking a food-based, and I don't think he'll play Goth. So
I think Dravs are actually food-based for a lot, right? Besides the SO? The elephant archers, the siege elephants, it's all food.
It's the SO though, really. I think SO make them pretty strong. Plus, obviously, like if you are trying to trade that in with like building farms and you're trying to pump out food-based units, like okay, you've got the archers, but you don't. I don't know. I just feel like we're probably going to see more like a Burgundian or a Hun than anything else. My bet's on one of those two civs. Could be totally wrong, but my bet's on one of those.
Oh yeah, I think Burgundians make a lot of sense. But no, we're seeing Mongols. Mongols against Magyars. Thanks, Spider. I hope you keep counting until Hi, Amod.
1 for KD, 2 for Otter. Who's 3 for?
I'm more interested in what 3000 is for.
Legend.
Okay, fair. Mongols against Magyars. What are your thoughts?
Sorry, 1 second. Let me just load up the game, and then I'm going to provide my thoughts.
I like that for Magyars have some tools, though. That's probably not the worst civs against Mongols. But...
So he chose Mongols?
Yeah.
What? I was not expecting that. Okay,
I asked if he would choose Mongols or not, so I'm right. Harry, what a 7 months it's been! And still, that was the best game I've seen in a long time, your Berber game. Nonetheless, of what happened after that. Thanks for showing that to us. And thanks a lot for the resub.
really not a fan of this for boOmstik's choice. I'm really not a fan. So I'm not going to say anything in this game. Just kidding. Oh my gosh.
Okay, I don't think you're able to do that. Let's go.
It's over. It's resignable, isn't it? Or almost. Wow. Mine's bugged. Clearly.
It's bugged? I'm at 30 seconds. Hold on, man.
Mine always bugs. You know what mine's like. I mean, one of the games, like, I was watching a completely different game to you. Went out of sync on a spec game. I mean, if you can do that, then anything can happen.
Should I wait or just stay live?
Nah, just go. I think. Do you know why? I think it's because I tried to refresh it twice, and I think I just killed it. So.
Yeah, maybe. But why do you think it's that bad for the Mongols? I mean,
you know, I think wood is just gonna be pretty scarce for a Mongol, and so I can't spec this game. I don't know why, but I can't spec it. It's just not letting me. So, interesting.
Should I try to stream on Discord as well, so you can see it?
Well, I'm just gonna try one more time and see if I can. If you look at mine now, I've got the right one, right? That looks right to you. I haven't done anything wrong.
Yeah, that looks right.
Okay, I'm gonna try again, but for some reason it just doesn't want to play ball for me.
And that's the 4 for boOmstik. Okay, yeah, that's. Let me comment on the game where Kitty's trying. We have 5 KD, 5 kills for the Mongols versus the Magyars. What's going on? The Magyars should be the ones rushing harder, I feel. Are there Cavachers in that base? There's Paladins in that base. But the castle did go up. One castle did go up. And boOm is rushing hard with the normally slow Mongol Civ. Yes, I have camels against Paladins. Lot of buildings for Dziamdziak, 9 ranges and 4 stables. I think now the rush phase should be over, but it's 9 villager kills! 9 villager kills and jumping over the barracks against the Civ that opens with camels, indeed. Sounds a little bit strange, as Malda's pointing out. And now we have the siege. Only 1 castle, so not going heavy on Mangudai. Okay, there's the second castle. Going heavy on the rush side with the Mongols. That was interesting, and it worked. Probably boOmstik noticing there was no barracks.
I mean, I'm totally with Maldar here, like, A, where are the how? But seriously, separate to that, I feel like this opener has not been fully considered by DZ. Possibly falling back to what I said about there might be a slight practice issue here.
Yeah, it feels like a bit he's played Deathmatch last time, Deathmatch World Cup 4. And he looked cleaner there, from what I remember. But everybody also was only Silver League, and Solara was also not as strong as he is today, right? A lot of people are not as strong as they were today.
Yeah.
It also played in Silver League.
Yeah. I think with Magyar as well, like, you going predominantly CA when you're up against Mongol, which has siege honages, and also
I would have actually opened barracks, CA, Magyar, Hussar, and not even Paladins at all on Serengeti against Mongols.
Well, also as well, like Mongol with the lack of treadmill, right? So like you could easily, well, like you said, you could rush the Mongol and even use HCA to Vil snipe.
Yeah, or that. Yeah.
So you could really lock a Mongol down, and then once you've locked them down, like that hill should belong to the Magyar, I feel right now. And once you're in that strong position, you can do early eco, you can push UU, you can, you know, you can do a lot of damage as a Magyar in this situation, I think. But it all depends on reducing the Mongols' ability to produce.
And now, no Magyar Hussar on the field, no castle finished for Dziam at all. And that means the siege archers are really dangerous, even though these guys have more range. They're getting way too close on the siege archers. Easier for Mongol SO to close the distance there. 2, and boOmstik is slowly establishing himself on the hills, developing right side to more goals. Has a stone there under control soon as well for more casts, more map control. Stone to the left that he can take 2.
Yeah, I mean
pushing the front. Go on.
That what you just with the onagers. I mean obviously Camel push now in coming in against HCA. She's not going to have any hab to defend against this, and the onagers are able to snipe from the back, and you can see big waste from the HCA there for DZ. So yeah, I just exactly the same concern I had when I saw mass HCA. It was just too easy to get knocked down by the onagers, and of course Mongols move faster, so yeah, it's gonna be harder to dodge them.
boOmstik refill his own ram.
Yep, classic. It's easily done.
Normal Hussars. There's also some Mega Hussar in there. He felt like he needed more Hussar, which is correct. I think 2 castles aren't enough to produce Mega Hussar. So mixing some normal Hussar in, I don't actually mind that too much, but he needs farms. That's the problem with opening that many paladins. He's even added extra stables. Sparing the food for Mega Hussar if you want to play it slower. That would be a nice move. And now he's 1 farmer and 34 Hussar in the queue. When they die, there won't be no more. And if there are no Mega Hussar, it's kind of an easy game for Mongols. Saying that, Hussar did the job at pushing boOmstik back 4 now. But the no food situation will become an issue.
For me, the main issue here, what surprises me, right, from DZ is, he's an RMer, so you'd think, he'd be a bit clearer on, unit counters, I would have thought. But I kind of feel like he's watched what other people might open with Magyars, and he's copied that order rather than necessarily thought about how to deviate, and that, for me, is a practice issue, which I've said before, but...
Yeah, it's like a general thing against many civs what Magyars open, right? Without barracks.
Yeah, just go
Pilots into CA,
stables,
right?
CA, just push out and just YOLO. But to be fair, DZ's managed to stabilize, which is something.
He has. Also adding farms now. He has more farms than the Mongol player. That relic will not be gathered by boOmstik. He has gathered 2. The other 2 are hard to come by. I don't see where the 5th is. Oh, it's in his base. Okay, so he will have 3.
So I mean, just
Mega Hussar raiding to the left a little bit on the stone there. Go on.
Observationally, that castle that Boom built on the right-hand side that just got knocked down by the Trebs, that made no sense. He should have built that bat on the hill, been more defensive, clustered with it. One, because Mongols obviously extremely dependent. So having castles fall as a Mongol is just restricts your production. And there's not tons of stone around the map. Nice snipes there on the Trebs, though, to be fair.
I feel like he needs SO though. Certainly, at one point Boom stopped SO, and now the Cavages are looking mighty fine. Also eating on it to shots.
One thing that's holding Boom back here, right, is we're approaching the 17th minute. He's only got 15 on the farmers. He could have spammed out. He could spam out Hussars. He could really push, and also he could, throw in Rams into his mix. And he could have done a much. What I'm trying to get at here is realistically, DZ should already be dead.
Yeah, but it's starting to better for DZ. He has better eco balance, or he's starting to get a balanced economy. Adding paladins again, I don't like that. I think you just want to rely on the unique unit instead. Paladins very costly, but at least this map has a lot of gold. So if you can do it anywhere, then on Serengeti probably. And cap traps, yeah, cap traps are weird.
This is a common mistake that's easy to make in DM. Which is that this kind of idea that defeating the enemy's army is the way to go, and it's extremely easy to fall into. But when you're in a situation like this where you're against a Mongol, he's got the hill, he's got the 25% damage bonus, you're trying to push uphill, you don't have the same strength of units, and it's so easy to have your Treb snipe, so you're just going to lose 200 every time you try and build it, because it's just going to be so easy for the Mongol to snipe. Because every time they push in, obviously the HCA has to back, then the Trebs fall, and it just goes round and round like that. Obviously Onagers can come in too. So basically, in a nutshell, if the Magyar wants to do some damage, they should be raiding with their UU all over. And really kind of sticking to their own advantage. You can see he's actually got 25% damage bonus on his own hill, so he doesn't need to push up. He can just sit and just wait for the Mongol to hit him while he just raids.
But I was trying to show other attack angles that Dziamdziak was gonna go for, maybe. I don't have the funky tools that Nova has, but I wanted to underline the point of not having to push up the hill. That's why I zoomed out. You don't have to do an AoEs and post about it.
Okay, I have no idea what Boom was just doing. What on earth? Why? What happened? Was that a misclick?
What did you mean?
He moved his army completely off the hill like he was going to go north and then changed his mind. Left his onagers completely open to get Hazard attacked. And lost the castle in the process. Like, all of that motion never had to happen. He could have quite literally done what he's doing now and just sniped out the Trebs. And
the raiding is actually happening now. boOmstik is down to 62 villagers. There is actually normal Hussar. Well, okay, it does the raiding job on a lot of his economy. And this one has been completely emptied as well. So focusing on the middle, and Boom was focusing on the middle too. Dziamdziak has done the thing that you mentioned.
There's no comeback now. Boom's out of this game. Look at the population. Look at the
100 to 180.
No
and 6 on food. Yeah, hard to reproduce villages like that.
Mongol is just like, it's not... Mongol is one of those civs that's just like, unless they have a super established economy, they are so hard to bring back into a game. And, you know, unless you're working extremely hard to do that and you can keep the Magyar at bay for long enough. But you don't cost golds. Just spam them out all day. Easy to snipe the onagers. We're just going to see him take the hill now. As soon as that hill is taken and that castle there in the south, like the one that's closest to the hill, falls, you'll see a GG call from Boom because he's got nothing.
Also, Mongols, you wouldn't think of it because a lot of people think of like Mangadai and Siege, right? It's a very food dependency. Because you always want to have that Hussar ball kind of dancing in front of your army. You maybe want to raid your own, especially against Magyars, so they can't fake Magyar Hussar. So, yeah, Mongol Hussar matter a lot, and I don't think Boom had enough of them. And like, didn't have enough farms, resulting in not having them.
I mean, I never understood the Civ pick from the start, actually. I personally would never have picked Mongols on this map. Not saying that he didn't have his chances. Boom absolutely had his chances at the beginning, but I just personally I wouldn't have picked it. I would have gone for something more meat dependent.
Yeah, maybe boOmstik's love with Mongols should come to an end. Or be restricted to mirror games. Because I've watched boOmstik play Mongols 3 times now. Twice in Ragnarok and 1 time here. And it hasn't gone well for him yet.
I just don't think that... I mean, you know, Mongols have their situational uses. They're just... I think, you know, in the original base game, Mongols were a contender. Like, they just were, you know... and they still are, but there's just... You know, in these kind of Civ matchups where you're one-on-one... You know, they don't have the speed in the same way in the opener. Sure, they have some extremely hard hitting units, but unless you're playing them in the way that I suppose they're really designed to be played, you know, and basically smacking your opponent in their face, then you die like this.
Die like this. GG! 1-1 in the set. And
indeed.
Dziamdziak also did look shaky at the start, the no barrack start. But yeah, he went on to do the raiding later on.
Yeah, absolutely. DZ pulled this out of the bag. I mean, I was genuinely convinced that he was dead in the opener. He didn't seem to have a well-established initial army. The hill was taken by the Mongol. He was pushing, like land was just getting taken, and it just looked like it was going to be to the base death. But you know, pulled it out.
Yeah, look at the resources collected. 42k for Dziam and 24k for boOmstik. That's the outcome of good rates.
Yeah. So now we're going into probably what her boob pick now, I imagine. I reckon boob's probably going to want to get a yeah, it's going to be Haboob, isn't it? It's going to
I want an early aggressive one now if I'm boOmstik, right? Because he looked better at the starts and then lost this game late.
There's only two sibs that he's going to pick. Sorry.
Hans or Goss?
Goss, I think. I mean, Hans is a really good pick too. I just feel like he's gonna pick that.
Yeah, Hans might struggle more against Mayans, I guess. Goss will struggle a lot against Spanish though. Hans are probably better against Japanese. But worse against Tatars. It's super even against the Sibs that Dziam has. Japanese is pick one from Dziam seems like it's a nice counter pick, says AI. Yes, that's the first thing we noticed. I actually thought Dziam was boom because I saw the Japanese pick first.
To me, Goths makes the most sense.
Malda's saying he showed boOmstik how to play Hans versus Mayans yesterday. Did my Discord just crash? I think we lost KD because my Discord crashed.
Anymore.
Ah, we're back. Sorry, my Discord crashed. I couldn't hear you for a bit.
It's okay. I was just saying that for me, I favor the Goths, and to me it seems like the pick. Could be wrong. Is the game open? Ah, sweet.
boOmstik even sending a code this time. After his loss, he remembers. That's weird. Normally people rather remember, oh, I want to be casted after they won a game.
Depends if I can get in the game. Let's see if I can get in this one. Last one I can get in. I might have bugged it myself though, but we'll see. Mine's mine's got a 1 minute 30 countdown now. So.
Okay. And what are the Sifs? I'm actually not in yet.
The Sifs are Goths versus Mayans. Boom's has picked Goths.
Oh, nice for Boom.
And Mayans. I mean, I don't see how Boom can lose this. To be honest with you, I don't know how. Yeah, if he loses this, then I think he is going to be closer towards losing the series overall. But if he gets this, he's just got one more, and then he takes the series. But obviously DZ is showed something different to the first game. So after this, I think personally after this he could go. You know, DZ might be able to come back into the game. I think Goths versus Mayans is going to be pretty tough.
I think the least risky pick for Dziam would have been Japanese or Spanish. Mayans and Tatars both felt risky against Goths.
Do you know what?
I don't know what he has in mind for his own home maps, but like it's 4 legs and Atacama left. Maybe he wants Japanese for Atacama.
I feel like if you were going to pick something up against a Goth, like knowing you were going to fight a Goth here, then like going something like a Spanish actually isn't too terrible.
Spanish is amazing. Spanish shred Goth.
But maybe he wants to hold Spanish back. Like, you know, I don't know. It's just very short.
But I feel like game 3 matters a lot, right? In sets normally.
Yeah, this is gonna be very quick game, I think. It's an extremely short map on Haboob, so
it is. And boOmstik got all advantages to lose here, and it's the top bottom generation, so I think even one of the closer ones. Not really sure if it makes much of a difference.
I'm gonna watch it on your stream just for now. I'm gonna restart my game client because again it's bugged. So restarting. See if I can catch up with you in the stream.
Right.
Now.
Boom doesn't want the will pick. And he's not getting it.
Oh.
Nobody gets it. 5 barracks for boOmstik, and so far only 5 barracks for the main player. I hope they had more. That's not gonna go away. He's opening eagles! Well, what else is he gonna open? 200?
Yeah, no,
what do mates even do? What do they open?
Yeah, he's got nothing else to open with. Really.
He's actually opening two-handed mainly.
I think as a Mayan in this situation, you want to try and raid. Like, even if you're going to lose vills, you've got to pick them. Because if you don't pick them, yeah, you're going to die.
Yeah, but if you raid, you're going to die even harder. Like, he's doing somewhat of a semi-clumping now. That's, I think, a good choice.
Sure.
And I think Eagles is the better opening, actually, than two-handed, right? Yeah. Because, like, Eagles, main Eagles would still beat the Huskarls, I think. And then, well, you have the problem with the champions, but then you want to have plumes. And if you get to plume Onager, you couldn't do something.
Believe it or not, I'm actually in the game. Wow.
Hey! I'm live at 340.
Okay, 350 now?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I'm 352.
And the castle is up for Dziam. So first step to surviving this. He only lost 5 villages and killed 3 with his own eagles. So really good job by Dziam there. Is Boom a lot of Huskarls still? Afraid of too much of a champion transition because of plumes? That might give Dziam the window that he needs.
Why did Boom make champs? That makes no sense. Should have gone Huskarl all the way.
Oh, the Scorpions are going under the castle too. There's no... Is there quick siege coming? Trebuchets? Not sure if you even need Scorpions. Like, maybe just straight up open Bombard Cannon here? And they need more siege workshops.
I mean, you literally just need Huskarl. Huskarl. You win with Huskarl. Like, just Huskarl. Nothing else. You just win with that.
Yes. I guess, like, the two-handed, are they fully up? They are fully upgraded two-handed, so I think they still beat two skulls, but you will have way more with Gauss, so yeah.
Oh, there is nothing that a Mayan can do against Mass Huskarl. Nothing. Like, you don't need to build a single champion in this setup. Not a single one.
Yeah, Straps now should be able to kill one castle. I really want to see more siege though. I really want to see bombard cannons. But it's probably gonna be enough like that. A lot of castles coming up for it. Yeah, he wants to get to plumes. Plumes is... If you could kite with plumes on a bigger map, Mayans have a chance with plumes. But it's a very short map. So it shouldn't have the time to master them and shouldn't have the space to kite with them.
Yeah, this is an unfortunate matchup for DZ.
Yep.
He must have predicted that he was going to go Goths though, or...
I think he was thinking he was going to go Huns.
It's too risky play. It's too much of a risky play. Like, at least with the Spanish.
Goths was the last pick in the draft from boOmstik. And in RM, like, Goths are usually a throw-off last pick, like people that like Winchester do to troll a bit on their last pick or something. So I think coming from an RMer mind, I understand DZ not taking the Goth pick seriously.
It's coming back to punish him now, unfortunately. Also, I mean, as DZ, I wouldn't even bother to build two-handed swordsman because, you know, Eagles can do more. They can raid, they can snipe trebs, they can, you know, they can just do a lot more around the map. Whereas two-handed swordsman, you're turtling, and unfortunately, that's what becomes of you when you're playing a Mayan versus a Goth, but at least you can try and do some kind of attack back on the Goth. You know that they're going to be extremely food dependent.
Also better against Scorpions now that boOmstik has a good number of Scorpions. The two-handed aren't doing anything. The forward market attack by boOmstik. He just said villagers there. Was the farm eco looking for the Goth? Farms only. I don't think you need it in this matchup too badly. But he's ran out of food. Siege ramps can help once the rest is dead. Still Huskars?
That's the tram nearly actually took out those 2 traps.
And those two-handed are gonna die. That castle's gonna fall, so we're down to 4 castles. I can still count. And boOmstik using all the little hills to put a castle on it. Might fall down. No, the traps are gonna get killed. I mean, Dziam is doing all he can to hold onto this and hold on to his plumes as well. He's up to 50 plumes. That's respectable.
Yeah, the downside is plumes do nothing against those Huskar.
And he doesn't have onagers against the Scorpions.
Yeah, and I mean again, plumes also they're not going to be super effective against those Scorps when you've got Huskar involved. I don't know why the Scorps are moving forward on their own. Going to lose a few of those. Those Huskar just need to push in. Like they can totally take out any production that DZ has got at this moment.
Yeah, you could take out everything.
Yeah, take out everything right now. And his economy could be better, but it's on its way up. Here for boOmstik.
Yep. Forward barracks, like directly on the farms. Now the Huskars are somewhat reluctantly going in, attacking a few barracks on the way. Now thinking better of it. Come on, just send them on the army. They're just dying in the middle there.
You're just dancing. Just send them in. You don't need to wait. Unfortunately, there's a little bit of a split in the army there, and Huskar
yeah, he's trying
actually...
to patrol them while they're always attacking the buildings instead, so they're not really going in. Those guys really don't want to win the fight. It's not only boOmstik not wanting to win the fight, it's the Huskars themselves not wanting to win it. In a way.
I think there's the economy from the Goth could be a little bit better. I think he could have easily been raided by Eagles, to be fair. Like, considering the fact that DZ is still held until nearly 20-minute mark, I would have expected this game to actually been finished 10 minutes ago in game time.
Yeah. But it will be finished. I mean, that's the only thing that counts for boOm.
Yeah, it's interesting because I kind of get the feeling like boOmstik's playing like in a really aggressive playstyle at the moment. So I was kind of expecting him to be more, as part of that aggression to actually go for the throat. But he kind of dances around it. Like, he plays aggressive and then he gets to the jugular and he's kind of like, actually, I'm just going to stroke it gently.
Yeah, maybe that's him trying to play more controlled.
Possibly, but I mean, a kill's a kill. I mean, when you can see it as plain as day, I kind of feel like just take it.
And there's the kill.
Here we go.
2-1 for boOm.
There's the GG. So yeah, 1 game away from the series. Be interested to see what these 2 players choose from their roster. I'll have a look now. So, give me 4 lakes.
Will be last home map for Dziam after he won his home map and boOmstik won his home map too.
Really interesting, actually, what DZ actually banned. Like, he banned Celts, Koreans, and Bohemians. Like, he really didn't want him to pick a siege civ. No, you will not have powerful BBC. You will not have powerful siege. So I'm taking those out of the roster. But that's kind of interesting because those are just civs that I actually don't think the Boom would actually choose anyway. So yeah. But just looking in terms of what could be picked then. So no Mines, no Magyars, no Hindustani. So we've got Spanish, Tatars, and Japanese from DZ. And then on the side of boOmstik, we've got Dravs, Burgundians, Huns. What's your thoughts, Otter?
I still don't know what the drafts are for.
Yeah.
4 Lakes. Hans still have the issue of the Tatars being in the draft. But I don't think highly of Burgundians and Dravidians, so I don't know why he picked them, so I'd pick Hans.
I mean, Dravs does seem like a really strange pick, considering like the kind of the draft he's gone for here. It's just like, okay, yep, Mongol, sure, Berber, sure, Huns, sure, Burgundian, sure, Drav. Yeah, just I can see a trend here, and then you've just kind of completely thrown a wild card in there.
I'm also not sure about the Burgundians, but yeah, they follow the trend, I guess.
Yeah, they follow the trend. Cavalry base, high mobility. Dravs is just kind of, it's just none of those things really. It's just I don't know. It's got a good push, but
Goss won a game. Yeah, they won against Mayans on her boob just now, Killer. What do you think is CM gonna play?
Oh, you're calling him DM. Okay, I'm gonna go with DM. This is gonna confuse everyone. I'm gonna say that he's gonna go with. I think you're either gonna see a Japanese or a Spanish. You know what? Any of those civs are actually pretty good. Japanese, Spanish, and Tatars. Maybe actually I'm favoring more Spanish or Tatars actually. But then again, Japanese is such a great counter to like a Huns and a Burgundians and even a Drav. Like, it's pretty decent. Like, okay, you've got Siege up against it, but it's pretty decent. Probably more decent than Tatars say would be. And then Spanish, okay, you get BBC. So there's that if he did pick a Drav. But you're probably going to be on the back foot against the Hun Burgundians. I see Japanese. I'm going to say Japanese. You?
I clicked the wrong thing and blocked the term Japanese. I think it's definitely not going to be Japanese. Actually, I think he wants Japanese for Atacama. It's a short map. In the middle, you can tower all the wood. I think that's what he's thinking. And so I'm gonna go with he's gonna play Spanish.
Really, I don't know. I kind of I just in my brain I just think Japanese is great. They have really. You could open with HCA. You can pick off fills really easy against if he goes with the Drav, for example. Then you've got great, like, just, in terms of economy, it goes a long way as a Japanese, just plenty of ways to get map control in that instance. And then if he picks Huns or Burgundians, like, I think he's pretty dead. So, yeah, for me, I think overall, I think Japanese actually makes the most sense. But maybe
he's even thinking something funny like Spanish cannon gains in the ponds. I don't know. My lines of argumentation are more of like there's a feature of the map, so I think that Civ might work on it. Like I haven't trained it, I don't know really how the Civs work, but I have like an idea. Oh, that might be good on that map. Right? I'm more trying to predict a Civ than saying what's good.
Dravs versus Tatars. That's what they've gone for.
What? Oh god.
I mean,
totally.
Tatars kind of makes sense in terms of the HCA. Still has that, ability. in the opener, I guess. Your UU is pretty, it's quite good cost-effective trader in terms of, it generates gold when it attacks, and it's not terrible. But I favor Drav. Tatars get the bonus on the hills, but I still favor Drav.
Yeah, there's oftentimes a big hill in the middle. Maybe that's the thinking for. I wasn't calling him DM, by the way. I just spoke the Dziam the way I thought, but we can still call him DZ.
Oh, I see.
And yeah, the matchup, Dravidians, they have SO, no siege engineers, and the elephant archers can be quite good here, I guess. They have halberdiers against camels. Keller says Kashik CA would be better. And he doesn't like Drav at all.
Interesting. I don't know. I think if this was a Kuman, but the Tatars, like UU, is sure it's a good unit for raiding. It can do good snipes. It can overwhelm, but I just think Drav is like gonna be stronger if he can keep his army grouped and he can push and he can actually get. I mean, unfortunately, sadly, looking at the map straight away, just press play, man. Looking at the map straight away, I mean, that hill is closer to the Tatar. That is very horrible generation for boOmstik.
It is. I mean, there's also gold up north that hill, if like boOmstik would get it, would be absolutely GG because it's controlling both the home worlds and there's only 2 on 4 legs for DZ. So he shouldn't. Dravidians are also slow, no treadmill and everything. He should never be able to get on that hill. If he somehow does it, it's GG. But he should never be able to.
I agree with what Keller said. Like, to know that your opponent will never make a
There is a day in the ponds. No, they're really bad. They die to fire ships. So in the ponds, they're shit. And expensive. They're not only expensive, they're also shit.
But yeah, I mean, like in this opener, right? Like I agree with what he's saying, like because you can Vil snipe really easily with HCA. You can this hill you can cap it so easy. There's going to be Hab being pushed down the mid, but it's going to be pretty straightforward to sweep that, I'd say, at the beginning, especially when you're building in HCA, because they're just they're going to get the damage bonus as well, extra on the hill for the Tatars. So it's going to be pretty easy to block.
Camels is a troll, says Keller. Yeah, there will not be any cavalry by the Dravidians, beside the old rage non-elite battle elephant. Switching to step lancers, no?
There is no need. I don't think there's any reason to build camels. I think you could just push out with probably like 2 racks. Don't even bother with the stables, and then just go all CA and then into UU and build siege workshops if you want to push out your onagers. Just because that's going to be pretty good. I mean, if Boom, I think the problem here is Boom's mentality is going to be I need to take that hill, and DZ's mentality is going to be like I've got this hill. And whilst that thinking remains, it's going to play into the favor of DZ. And of course, once he starts to wear down the army, he can just start to snipe those onagers, and that's going to be hard for him to deal with here. I still stand by the fact that I think Japanese would have been a good pick here too, but I can see what you're saying about holding that back for that map. And it is going to be a great counter to Cavsiv, but then I never expected Dravs to necessarily be picked here.
I would have also never expected Dravs. Like if I'm Dziamdziak, I'm just picking Spanish because they're a good Civ overall. I think they're solid against everything boOmstik has, and probably more. Yeah, Spanish could also be great on Atacama though.
Well, I don't know, because
Controlling the left now too.
I don't know.
Hans, yeah.
Hans probably spanking sideways.
I think Dziamdziak was expecting Han's pick from boOmstik. That's why he picked Tatars, right? He tried to counter pick
maybe.
Hans.
Well, I think because it shares in the same benefit of what a Japanese can do. The one thing that surprises me from DZ is that he actually never even tried to Vil Snipe. I think that could have been a nice thing to have done here against boOm.
Yeah, I think Spanish could have done similarly. I agree with Keller there. Not getting the Vils. Dziamdziak more concentrated on the front fight. Maybe we should look at that. And Ctra's trying to go in. That doesn't look like an amazing fight though. Oh, he's on the Ctra just somewhat, and the Elephant Archers are just so slow.
DZ does not need to come off that hill. I don't know why he pushed into the Drab army there on the flat. Again, pushing in on the flat. You're not going to beat Archer Elephants on the flat with HCA, sadly. So you just want to stay on that hill as best as possible and just try and deflect. Also, walls.
He doesn't need to stay on the hill with much, right? The rest can go raid. I mean, he tried to send the raiding parties. He didn't micro them really well. Now he's going off the hill again. Why does he want to fight the Hele Archer so badly?
Also, where's UU? I don't understand. He's not queued any UU. Why not? Why not? Tell me why. Tell me one good reason.
Whose side instead?
No, tell me one good reason. Oh no.
I can't. It's what Tatars do normally. Keshik and HC.
What DZ could do, right, is you see that I mean, obviously before that outpost in the north came in from boOmstik there, he could have just built a wall like literally across half the map and then restricted the Drav right to the middle of the map, limited his movement options, and then he could have raided and prepped on those castles that are popping up from boOmstik. Would have been a pretty nice play.
Where the wall? I didn't understand.
Oh, like, you know, like where his army is basically now, like just where that was, you know, okay, he can chop the wood, but just try and restrict his movement. And sure, if he wants to delete wood, he doesn't have much back wood, so if he deletes all his front wood, that's gonna hurt him.
True. Okay, boOmstik is trying to go around the top, so he's not pushing up the hill. That's good.
Oh,
but the siege is exposed. Damn it, is not in position.
We've got the HCA fighting on the flat again. Actually, really favour boOmstik in this moment. I mean, this seemed like quite a nice little play here to go round. I don't think DZ was expecting it, to be honest with you, and he's
going up though.
Yeah, he's gonna win this hill. He's gonna win it. He's gonna win it.
How many elephants? 8 siege elephants. Yeah, could be enough.
The only thing he doesn't have is
Trebs.
Trebs.
Yeah.
He needs Trebs really badly.
He has 2 Trebs. He could unpack them.
Yeah, I don't know. He hasn't committed them yet. Okay, now he is.
Siege just are getting caught out. The Heaviest went too far under the castle, and the siege elephants died. He's not gonna win the hill.
Okay, boOm's just completely lost me in terms of what he's doing right now.
I lost my push on the hill. Let's send all my army into the opponent's eco. That feels a little like Funny Liquid Game 3 against Shoro.
This is insane. What? I don't understand this. Surely it makes more sense in that moment to have stabilized. I mean, he could have for a start, he could have got the Elephant Archers onto the hill if he wanted to in that moment. And I think had he had to follow up Trebs, he could have knocked out those castles, and then once he was there, he could have shut down his production. But instead, he's raiding with the Elephant Archers.
32 Elephant Archers in there? What is the only foodie co-op jump?
To be fair,
he thought, let's go! Yeah, that's probably what he thought, Keller. I mean, he still has an Elephant Archer push on the hill from the left while he's killing all the farmers. Not all of them. I mean, most are in the castle.
DZ has 4,500 wood, man. He could build fishing ships. He has a dock. No, he doesn't have a dock. Oh my gosh, that dock belongs to boOm. Oh my goodness. Oh
and
my
2
goodness,
siege rock
save
ships
me.
there. boOmstik is kind of everywhere with these alien archers. Like, we were laughing, but this is working.
I mean, it's working in terms of the fact that DZ is not compensating with the wood he's got to build fishing ships, which would be really helping him right now.
But he doesn't have a single dock. boOmstik has fishing ships on the left, which docks on 3 ponds, and the right pond is guarded by alien archers, so you can't do a pond there, a dock there.
Thing is, though, right, is DZ still has gold income, still has wood, and he's still max pop. And boOm is actually losing his army here at the front. Okay, there's Onagers still there, but boOm is out of res as well. I didn't actually check his economy. I mean, he's alright. I think he's okay. He's a little bit wood deficient, but he's alright. He could stay in this game with the economy he's got. Especially with those HCA getting tanked by the Onagers there. Ouch. Though the difficulty here for the draft, the difficulty here for the draft for boOmstik here is he's just losing castles. Look, that castle that he just lost there, he's down to 4 castles, which is still fine as long as he doesn't lose any more. And whilst he's not using any UU, obviously, like, once his protection goes from his economy, that is going to be pretty disaster zone.
Oh, the scoreboard also says who won game 2.
The difficulty is here, right, is that the draft...
It's 4 castles on that hill. Sorry, I just saw that.
It's okay, I think... Right now, the game is going to tear down in boOmstik's favor because he's only got 71 villagers. And the longer he keeps a high army, the longer the overall economy value is going to stack up for the Tatar.
Yeah, he has 71 villagers and 31 fishing ships, so overall it's also 100 EQ units.
Oh yeah, of course it doesn't count as fills. You're right. Okay, with the fishing ships. Okay. I'm gonna calm my socks now.
But it's an interesting setup because Dziamdziak is controlling all the mountain land with a massive amount of castles, and boOmstik is controlling all the flat land with an elephant archer everywhere. And he's gonna lose these probably. Trying to kill a castle with 2 siege elephants, but there's an onager around. It's still mostly fighting cav archers against elephant archers. That should be very efficient trades for boOmstik.
Yeah, the difficulty is only light cav, and if he loses gold too much, if boOmstik loses gold too much, he has a gold pile on the left hand side, but if he loses too much, if those elephant archers are gone, the Tatar will take the advantage. What surprises me here though is that the Tatar never actually even rolled in a single hab. Like, I would have kind of thought that just a little bit of hab might have actually made, a little bit of a difference.
Yeah, mass hab actually killed the elephant archers and it will kill the rams.
Well, it's also because they're a great pusher in terms of, right, you've got stacked up elephant archers. You're pushing, trying to patrol into the enemy, right? Like, if you've got hab coming at you with onagers behind, and HCA, a few UU for a bit of a mix of sniping around the map, etc., etc. Like the elephant archers are probably going to back, right? Which is going to expose onagers, and then you can take those out. But when you don't have that, and you're trying to fight on the flats, like HCA versus elephant archers, then it's not going to be. You're not going to get the same. You're just going to get them tanking like they are here, where they're just barely having to move a muscle.
Finally, there's now some cavalry on them, but one hill got cleared by boOmstik, and that leaves at least that portion of eco exposed. Sorry, I'm just throwing in a little bit of play-by-play stuff here. Still a gold up north that boOmstik could get. Oh, this was actually denied. Nice denial by Dziamdziak in the left side.
Which one's that? Oh yeah, he denied the gold. Oh my gosh, that's actually really bad for them.
That's really big. He's 100 gold and no access to gold.
But this is the problem,
and
right?
now he's taking another fight against the hill with the CA. Giving the CA that bonus damage is probably what you meant, Ferret.
Well, he's panicking. Boom's panicking. He's building hab now, which is not going to work for the draft. And it's because he's produced down on gold now. He's only got some relics to generate gold and mark it if he decides to use it. But otherwise, this is really bad because he only has light cav. He can't raid in the same way, and yeah,
He's wasting gold on siege elephants from those sneaky siege workshops that are just being mowed down by the cavalry.
He's
Clear
going
capsules?
to be...
I thought he was favorite. Isn't he? That is someone. I thought he was Roger. Clear capsules?
Oh, yeah, I think so, maybe. I don't know. Actually, I might be speaking out of turn, but possibly.
I thought so. But...
This is 2-2. This is going to be, I think, at this stage.
I think so without gold. I mean, boOmstik can... He's not even trying to get back on that top gold. He really has to try and get back on that top gold, but I don't know with what. Where did the Keva just go there? Feels like Dziamdziak should have guarded that, because that's like the last alleyway for boOmstik to get back. Now he's being pushed off that hill again, though. It's looking really dire, so that gold can be collected by DZ again.
Well, Boom only has 23 fishing ships left, and loads of those aren't actually working. So actually now when you look at it from economy-wise, you've got lots of idle villages. He's lost his main army. He has no real access to gold apart from that one on the left-hand side, which will be pretty much too late by the time he mines it. And DZ's in a very solid position, 200 pop with a very stable and balanced eco.
Yeah, gonna take out the fishing ship eco in the lower lake now as well. And in the top lake, the docks will be gone. But Boom's back on the gold. I don't think it's enough gold to build another Elephant Archer army.
I agree with what Keller said, that the last map is going to be significantly hard for Boom. And losing this game when you're one away from obviously, winning the series, is going to put you in a really quite difficult position. I think overall DZ, whilst he looked like he got off a rocky start, looks like he's bounced back and actually probably played the longer game. Oh my gosh, Habs are going to lose. Oh, he's one more shot. Oh.
It's not an SO, it wasn't that devastating. Okay, there was an okay shot.
Yeah, it looked like it was going to be more devastating than it was, to be fair.
Yeah, we always think siege on the shots, right? But on the shots actually aren't that amazing to see.
He could have split the formation earlier than that, though. He wouldn't have lost as many.
Yeah,
but at this stage in the game, it's too late. Boom has succumbed.
Boom has a 1k gold again, though.
Yeah, because he's got that left-hand gold, but it's too late. He hasn't got anything to back it out with. Like, he's not going to produce Elephant Archers fast enough to actually make a dent against the HCA numbers that he's got. Plus, he's at 200 pop.
And he's no wood for SO.
Yeah. Well, also as well, like, sure, he's raiding and stuff, and that left-hand side is weak for DZ, but, like, who cares? Because, like, he's still got a balanced economy. Loads of his own economies on the right-hand side. Like, he's got loads and loads of units queued, lots of HCA, lots of Hussars. You can just spam them forward and just continue to take out production.
Oh. And he's got only Burgundians and Huns left? Is it? Oh, he might get to that top gold. Hold on. It's only one trap, but it's only 4 villagers repairing, so that castle will eventually fall if DZ doesn't do anything about it. Concentrate on taking out the base, and boOmstik is definitely trying to win it with this game. Trying to set up a new economy on the left side, getting that castle, getting the gold.
Way too
Very
late.
Rough, but 30 army. Now the castle stays up, yeah, it's over.
Yeah, it's just too much. Like, even with the, any gold you get is just gonna be just like wasted because you're gonna be fighting with lesser numbers. So, even if we see that go down to 0 and he manages to actually push out some kind of army, like, just lost way too much map presence now. Castles, he's down to 2 castles after that one falling. It's going to expose, any eco at the back here. You can see in the top there's a raid coming in. I think Boom's going to call the GG and it's now, basically.
Pretty solid game from... How would you guys speak him? I called him Dziamdziak in the past. KD kind of settled us on DZ.
Yeah, I just did that for ease. Just in case someone's like, no, that's not how you say it. It's said like this. And then they're going, alright. I mean, I could have called him just PL, right? But I guess it's clan, so...
Yeah. Or it's just Poland, but I think it's also a Polish AoE community.
Yeah, Polish clan. I love that. from Reagan.
Yeah. Easy, right? What are you guys doing? Only speaking the first two letters, you should speak all. Yeah, let's talk about... Should we talk about Sifs for the next one?
Yeah, I'm just going to pay homage to the spy sheep in DC space from boom there.
Ah, yeah.
Could still be the comeback.
Can I pet it? I can pet it.
It's got a nice round circle when you click on it.
Okay, that's actually really helpful, thanks. I'm gonna try this. I was talking to Vazero, who I also mispronounced, right?
Oh, yeah, I see. Oh, that's... Okay. Sorry, so how are you pronouncing that now?
I'm trying to do the Google Translate right now. He told me to enter DZ. I hope it works without the apostrophes.
Oh, we're missing the last battle. You're being complained at by Paul Ad. You need to watch the Trebs dying and the Onagers and the Elephant Archers coming back here by Boom.
Oh, okay. Let's go, Boom! And then learn the other guy's name.
Yeah, considering the fact that he may actually win this series, might be good to be able to say the full thing.
Yeah, I feel Keller's saying I feel like Boom knows that he has an uphill battle for the last map. Yeah, it seems like it with playing this so long, right?
Problem is that with only 2 castles left and no stone to be able to recoup here, Boom is just talking about this game, of course, is that he is not going to be able to defend his economy, and he doesn't have any hussars himself, so there's obviously great economy protection for the start. So as soon as that last army dies, including the onagers, then it's GG. Have you found out how to say it? Or am I going to have to Google it now? You're taking an obscene amount of time to actually pronounce this.
No, I'm just... You told me I should listen to Paulette and watch Last Army of Boom, so I'm watching Last Army of Boom now. I only have one monitor. I can either find out the game or watch Last Army of Boom. You're the co-caster. You're supposed to find something out like that.
Oh, okay, fine. Bye. I'm gonna go and look now. You watch the fighty. I'll go and do the. Arrow. Well, you're not actually meant to. Sound effects for every kill. Oh, that's actually pretty good. You should record some. The next set of
Oh, it's gonna be another horrible clip. Go see Jonathan Swice with 3 HP. And here we have the Cavaters. Hussars engaging. Boom! It's nothing.
It's Dziamdziak. That's how you pronounce it.
And there's the GG. Yeah. We learned that in time. Game 5.
I know.
Can you say it again?
Dziamdziak. Like jam on toast.
Ah, yeah, that's a good hint.
With judge.
What's judge? A judge? Like at court?
Like
jam
hatch,
judge.
but with a J. Like a jam hatch, but with a J.
Jam judge.
Dziamdziak.
It's called peculiar.
I mean, I would never have thought that. I would have pronounced it like Dziamdziak. That's
Dziamdziak.
how I would have said it had I not just Google
My
Translate.
originally my thing that I originally said wasn't too far off, I feel.
No, actually, you were pretty spot on. I was miles away.
And now I know it means peculiar in Polish.
Dziamdziak.
To be fair, he had a peculiar start and a peculiar second game opener as well, to be fair. So he's stuck to his name.
And a peculiar comeback.
Peculiar comeback. So what would you choose then? Come on, you've got Burgundians or you've got Huns. You know you're probably up against Japanese. What do you do?
Showing the Civ draft first. Yeah, you think Japanese, right?
Oh yeah, come on. I'm with it. I'm with the viewers. They reckon the tower spam is real. I think it's right. I think he's planned it for this late game. I think the Japanese is the obvious choice against a Hun or a Burgundian. I mean, the only thing I'll say, right, is that Huns could stomp a Japanese in the opener, but could potentially. But then it could easily stomp a Spain because they don't have treadmill. So I think I'd possibly favor the Japanese, and just go for that. But yeah, Keller's right. Huns are okay against Japanese.
I mean, Spanish could be an option, I feel. I think he's gonna go Japanese. That was like my theory from the beginning, that he picked it from Atacama. But Spanish against Huns is...
Spanish is too slow. Too slow. They'll die to Huns. Japanese at least stands a chance of surviving the opener and then being able to stabilize and win from there. And it will be extremely hard. Like if the Hun can't crush in the opener, with the Burgundian, if he chooses that, for example, as well, if he can't, and I think Hun would be the obvious choice here, right? So let's just go with that. If Hun can't crush the Japanese, then the game's over.
I mean, the logical choice is Japanese versus Huns, right? But Spanish aren't slow.
Yeah, they are. Spanish.
Why would they be slow? They have faster bit speed.
Well, I still stand by the fact that I think you're not going to output as quickly enough to get, like, okay, what would you open then? Okay, you're Spanish. What do you do? What would you open if you're against a Hun?
Paladin, Halberdier, Siege Rams.
Paladins, Halberdier, and Siege Rams.
Or Onagers, I guess.
But the Hun can produce it faster than you can. And has HCA that they can throw into the mix. So, I don't know. I kind of feel like the Japanese, at least, like, super cheap. You know, you can get HCA and Hab out. And at least then from there, you can then capitalize on, you know, powers around the wood lines if you need them, but also just generally being able to stabilize and being extremely cheap. So I don't know. I personally feel like Japanese would be the stronger choice, but you know,
I feel like Japanese are the stronger choice too. I was just debating if Spanish can do something there as well, but on such a short map, it will still be hard because the Huns get to 200 pop quicker, right? And that big push. Plus the CA.
but
it doesn't look that grim. I think Huns against Japanese isn't that grim, actually. So the whole thing about boOmstik being instantly dead if he doesn't win game 4, Huns can still win that. Yeah, it's
I mean, it could still be anyone's game. Huns has to kill. If Huns doesn't kill, they lose. Are you going into this game? Because I'm actually loading the game. I've got 30 seconds left to go in.
Oh, are they already? Okay. Going now. I've got 1 minute and 20 seconds. I'm gonna be back in 20 seconds. Sorry.
Why is it just so long? I've got 17 seconds on the clock. I'm gonna have to pause it then. So we've got Huns v Japanese. That seems predictable. I think it also makes sense. I think my clock lied to me on my game because I'm watching Otters and it's gone under 1 minute when mine's just stuck on 0. It's either that or I'm watching the wrong game. It's boom really the guy to kill fast though? Is boom? I mean boom plays aggressively. I think the only thing probably that's going to let boom down is going to be some of his early game micro. You know, we know that the Japanese player is gonna play pretty static, like at the beginning. Obviously they can roll out some HCA themselves, but we didn't see that in the last game when he played Tatars up against boomstik on draft. Doesn't necessarily mean he won't do it now, but I kind of suspect that he probably won't do it again. So yeah, if Boom was able to get some nice Vil snipes, and you know, I would probably just go all out. I'd probably even take market as well. Get some early siege workshops. Not obviously like in the initial opener, but you know, follow up with Vils and get them down and just literally spam into the Japanese, because once you've cut out their production, if you can get the rams onto the castles, and you know, if they obviously.
Are you waiting for me? Because I'm back.
No, I'm not waiting for you. I'm in scam. I've taken the lead on this.
Game 5, let's go!
Who needs alright, I could just carry on talking and
yeah, it's your stream,
forever.
I forgot, right? Let's go.
Yeah, exactly. Right, let's go. Where are you at?
Dziamdziak opening 4 barracks. I'm live.
Let's see, come back and then you get ahead of me on the stream.
Obviously. It's my stream. I just took it back. 5 archery ranges. And we have 4, 6, no barracks, just cutthroat for boomstik. Barracks don't make too much sense against Japanese, I would say, so that's fine. Do you feel like that's enough barracks to survive? Yeah, I think, kind of like the build order by DZ. No, we learned his name now. Dziamdziak?
Dziamdziak. Like hatch, but with a J. Dziamdziak.
What do you think about his build?
I think it's fine. I think we're actually seeing some HCA coming in from Boom, but I don't know how well he's controlling some of these to try and get the snipes. He's actually got 1 Vil there, which is actually reasonable. But he's kind of losing these HCAs. I think he's just kind of waypointed them in, and then he's just kind of clicking on the Vils. I think he'd possibly be better off if he could actually have got some, yeah, a bit like what he's doing now, kind of running around the map, the back of the base with them. That's quite nice, because it looks like Dziamdziak is building back with those houses, which looks like
that house builder should die. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
5 villagers for the Japanese forward siege workshop, but I like that a lot.
I mean, Dziamdziak is gonna suffer here, because those house fills that he's putting out are right next to those HCA. He's got 1 house coming up now, and then he's losing Vils now, it looks like. He's trying to micro that Vil. He actually survived with it.
Oh yeah, AR did that against me too. Like, you couldn't micro these Vils against CA.
Yeah, it's... but Boom's
super
playing
annoying.
exactly how I would play the Hun, actually. He's getting kited as well. You see, the problem here is that Dziamdziak didn't actually produce any HCA to counter and actually use them to snipe Vils on the Hun side as well, which would have helped. Just to slow down these siege workshops, for example, you could have got a little bit more visibility on the map. Being house popped was really quite nasty for him at the beginning. He's going to lose that castle at the front with the siege. But I would have played Huns exactly like Boom here right now, to be honest with you, with no difference really. Okay, I wouldn't have built Habs actually.
He's building helps? Okay, I thought he was jumping over the helps, and he has added them now. But he has siege rams, he has the cav archers behind, he has the paladin there for eventual onagers that aren't even really gonna come. So nothing stopping these rams over here.
He's also built scans. So, you know, there's that. There must have been a misclick though.
I mean, eventually, if you go for the full all-in Hun push, you just throw everything at the opponent. I mean, you obviously sell first and add CA before you add skirms.
I mean, to be honest with you, this is a close series. I personally would have. So okay, let's just roll the clock back slightly, right? Okay, in the last game, I wouldn't have picked Tatars. I would have picked Japanese, as I said originally then. because I think they would have actually done better overall, and I think he still could have won the game and played it exactly like he played the Tatar. And then in this game, he could have saved his Tatar and used that against the Hun. And actually, I think that possibly would have had a better chance in the opener than this.
But boOmstik does it!
He does it indeed.
I just think that boOmstik wants us to shout a little bit for him when he wins the best of 5-3-2.
He does. Well done to Boom. I was kind of rooting for Boom a little bit in the game.
Yeah,
like I think
me too. I admit it.
you know he plays DM predominantly as nothing. You know, to Dziamdziak, like the credit to him for actually playing 3-2 in this series. Like I think he could have easily have gone either way in this final part here. But I do feel like one of the things that let him down in the very first game, especially, was just it felt like he hadn't really put in the practice, and it felt like he was kind of building it through this game, possibly underestimated Boom a little bit.
Mm-hmm. But I think, unfortunately, that loss will make it very tough for ZM to go through the group. Because that's, I think, is the important win for Boom to make it into the round of 32.
Yeah.
Very impressive Hans, by the way. Like, really, really well played, Boom.
Yeah, I think Hans is one of those like go-to civs for a lot of DMers, right? And you know, it's still strong in these random maps like matchup civs. In team game, Huns, I always find them so underwhelming in like random map settings if they're not able to kind of do anything in the opener. They're just always just underwhelming units. Sure, they can pally spam or whatever else, but you know, they don't have a lot of variety in terms of what they can do. But Huns definitely, like when it comes to just like pound for pound, not having to have houses, faster stables, you can just spam, which is what happened in this situation. But I think the thing that really hurt Dziamdziak in this particular game was the houses and being house capped and building towards some of those HCA that got put around the back of the base.
Yep. But that's also a nice job from boOmstik, right? To run around there. And perfect moment for the Flex Master, Malda.
Absolutely. I think possibly like, you know, a little bit of practice element here from Dziamdziak, because actually if he'd been able to get some of those HC out, like at the beginning of the game, actually he probably could have Vil sniped, not just like Vils in the base, but possibly some of those, you know, leading forward, trying to build the siege workshops. And you know that once you get the siege workshops with the Rams pushing out, and they start to whack into some of those castles, whack into some of those production buildings, you know, it's very, very difficult then, right? Because if you've only got HCA, how are going to be sniped by the counter HCA from the Hun? And then the HCA themselves on your side aren't going to be able to do anything because they're going to be shooting the Rams unless you're trying to micro, but that's going to be like impossible when you're getting, you know, swarmed. So, yeah. But yeah, overall, well played.
I think it's a hard map for the Japanese to... Like, the more I think of it with that close of a map, it's nice for the Huns. Because if you send them forward, the Huns will always have more HCA.
Yeah, absolutely. I possibly, with Boom's opener there, I probably would have actually stacked up more in terms of unit production. Probably would have been getting more and just pushed, like, you know, with an even bigger opener if, you know, if you can. But I like what Boom's. I looked at like 10 losses already yesterday versus KD to prepare. It wasn't 10 losses, it was 9. You beat me in the 10th match, so there we go. Yeah.
Yeah, the Sicilian strat. Wait, what happened to Sicilians? Oh, they got sniped. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I actually I really like the draft system actually for this tournament, because I think it does like give you that thought process into like, okay, these are the kind of the draft civs that they've got left. Like, what kind of civ do I think they're gonna pick? What could I pick? You know, it gives you that kind of variety. I think when you are playing like random civs in a 1v1 setting, like, you know, you can get some serious like run of bad luck of civs, right? So it's nice to play draft. The only thing is, obviously, if you're putting a draft together for 1v1, like I've said to you before, like it takes time to kind of put those together. Yeah, it'd be kind of nice if there was like a, I don't know, like just for 1v1 settings. It was just like a quicker draft. Like you could kind of just do like a mini draft, and you could just like select.
Well, you
like,
could
less
make that.
numbers
You
of
could
s-
easily make just a like smaller draft on the captain's mode. It's super
Yeah,
easy
with
to
like
do.
a smaller time like frame, like just like you pick, they pick, like just do it really quick. Like I suppose
Keller's
you wouldn't even
listening
need
to
to have
you.
a
He's
time.
complimenting us as well. But
Oh,
he made
I
all
don't
the
know.
drafts. He can probably make that happen. What are you talking about? Like,
Yeah, just like
for
a
casual matches?
mini like 1v1 like just in general. So yeah, I really like your co-casting. Good job to both of you. Thank you, Keller.
Thank you.
Yeah, Katie has a nice, calm, smooth voice. Thanks. You could probably make one of those sleeping apps where you like tell bedtime stories. All right, sorry, Boomstick. Can you ban him, please? Kidding.
I have mods
Saying
for
I'm,
that.
I was sending everyone to sleep in the. And here's Boomstick. He's Huns against Japanese. You can see now there are lots of heavy cavalry archers and rams. Katie is the third most handsome UK caster, right? Also banned Maltar.
Oh, you made me sleep now. You almost took over my stream again.
Sorry. Oh my bad. Wait, I'll keep going. And in the second game, we had Tatars. No, that's a lie. Sorry, we had Magyars up against Mongols. Boom somehow lost that game. Lol. Lol, 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 lol. He should have won, but he didn't. I hope you're falling asleep to this. Not you, Boomstick. Dream, Boomstick, of your loss in that game. Mongols should not lose in that moment. You could have won. I hope you feel bad, man. There you go. What do you think?
The last part definitely make me wake up and laugh again.